Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Kelci's Corner. I'm Kelci O'Donnell here in our digital studio. Welcome to my corner, a time where I get to break down both local and national sports headlines. And, well, it's the month of March, and we're going to begin out on the diamond for ECU baseball because it's Mustache March. Right now, I'm joined by Brian Bailey, our sports director. Now, Brian, you've been around at the station for a while.
A little bit.
Talk to me about Mustache March and what you have seen over the years.
Well, Charlie Yorgan came up with the idea 4 or 5 years ago, and every March, East Carolina baseball players, they grow mustaches, and then we shave them off April the 1st, which is a lot of fun, too, because I've gotten Coach Godwin a couple of times through the years, and he gets me a little bit. We have a good time with it. I had a mustache when I was young, but I really didn't want to grow one back because I didn't like it. But since it's for such a great cause, it's to raise money and raise awareness for ALS research and the awareness about the disease. And the folks at the local ALS chapter really appreciate everything East Carolina baseball does. East Carolina baseball teams with Memphis baseball and Michigan baseball in getting this thing worked out. And also Coop Strong this year is working with it. Nelson Cooper was a real friend of Pirate baseball, so that organization is working with this as well, trying to raise awareness and raise funds for the fight against ALS.
Right, so
And mine's just getting started.
It's just getting started. Yeah. I do want to bring up a couple of videos that I found of you from the past of Mustache March. You can see over, I don't know if it was in. We found a few file footage.
That's the original mustache, and that was full-time, year-round. Yeah.
Right, so were you participating?
See that hair?
I know, look at
that
hair. Were you participating in Mustache March here?
No, that was not. That was just mustache period. That was the early days of my career.
There's some more
that was the set. It was brand new when I first came. Look at the red phones back there. Look at the OTS, the still. Look at that.
I know. What a time.
Yeah, what a time. Look at that hair. I had some hair and it was dark.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead. That's a handsome dude, isn't it?
I hope that surprised you a little bit. I did some digging to find that. So how can people donate?
They can go to the ECU baseball page at any time, and they have an article about the entire event, and they have a chart that keeps up with how much money's been donated and that kind of thing. So also social media, they have a Mustache March bracket going on right now. So you can check that out and do anything with that. So all of that, just go to the web, and if you need more information, call the baseball office at East Carolina. They'll guide you.
Yes, definitely vote on Twitter. I know they're having their polls for the brackets each week, but it's a super fun time. So thank you so much for joining.
All right. It'll be good.
Now on to the schedule. East Carolina baseball is hitting March hard with a pair of wins this week. Their most recent win coming over Liberty on Wednesday afternoon, and it's tough to have midweek games, but the guys got it done. Tristan Kimmel got the start for the Pirates, pitching 2 scoreless innings. He struck out 2, and it was all great things from there on out for the purple and gold. Bryson Worrell was the guy to boost the Pirates early during the bottom of the first. He homers and helped the Pirates take an early lead 3-0. Man, the rest of the game, it was such a fun one. 11-0, ECU shuts out Liberty. Here's head coach Cliff Godwin after the game.
No, but the midweek can be tricky. You look around the country and sometimes it's hard to get 18 to 22-year-olds to show up. I thought it started on the mound with Kimmel. Thought he worked quick. I thought our defense was awesome. Bryson obviously getting a swing off, and then we added a couple, but I was really proud of the way the offense continued to extend late in the game. I think at times our offense have taken their foot off the gas pedal because our pitching and defense has been so good that we haven't had quality at bats later in the game, and I was really proud of the offense for that.
The team hopped on a bus today, headed towards Charlotte to begin their 3-game series with the 49ers on Friday. Also, just announced on Wednesday, the Wood Ducks will host the Pirates and UNCW on Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30 p.m. in Granger Stadium. You can purchase tickets online now at woodducksbaseball.com. East Carolina Athletics had another big weekend, this time within the AAC for track and field and swimming and diving. The Pirates track and field team made the trek to Birmingham, Alabama for the AAC Indoor Championship. East Carolina won 2 gold medals and set a pair of meet records Friday, day 1 of the championship. Junior Mackenzie Whitaker earned gold in the women's pentathlon. Junior Ryan Davis captured his second-time AAC weight throwing title. And junior Brooke Stith reeled in East Carolina's 3rd conference title of the weekend on Saturday for the triple jump. Over in the pool in Houston, the ECU men's swimming and diving team captured its 4th conference championship. Adam Mailer, Mara Cassina Rodrigo Romero, Gustavo Sanos, and Kristen Stej claimed titles for their events in the AAC Championship as well. What a great weekend for the Pirates. Over on the court, the 2020 regular season for basketball is coming to a close. The Lady Pirates are set to play in the AAC tournament up in Connecticut on Friday against Temple at 2 p.m. And the men's team will wrap up their play on Sunday, March 8th at the University of Central Florida, again at 2 p.m. Well, the Pirate basketball teams may be wrapping up their 2020 regular season, but that doesn't mean hoops is over just yet. It's only March, and we have a whole month filled with madness. And at the end of the month, the Harlem Globetrotters will be coming to Greenville inside Minges Coliseum on March 26th. Nearly a century of history and chart-topping talent.
The Globetrotters, we have 94 years of history. We have such a rich history. We're responsible for breaking the color barrier and the gender barrier within sports culture. And so that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on.
23-year-old Maxwell Pierce is one of the athletes who've gotten the opportunity to put on a Globetrotters jersey. He is one of 39 stars on this year's roster, adding on to the team's great, rich tradition.
It means everything.
That means going beyond the game.
That means so much more than anything that I could do on the court. You know, just the ability to travel the world and be universally received, no matter whether we speak the same language as the audience or not. That one thing that never changes is the smiles that we bring. And so that's my favorite part about being a Globetrotter.
Pierce, known by his court name Hops, is traveling around the world making stops before the team comes to town, announcing the new exciting things the Globetrotters are bringing to the court this year.
Even if people have seen us play, whether it was last year or 40 years ago, there's the magic circle. That's the one thing that hasn't changed as far as the structure of our warm-up. But what we're adding to that this year is the fact that it'll be done in a glow-in-the-dark setting.
The players continue to push their limits with every performance this year.
And we also have a world record trick shot attempt that we're going to be trying at every single game.
And are ready to light up people's faces, proving that anything is possible. Grab those tickets now to catch Hops and the Globetrotters back in Minges Coliseum on March 26th. For more information, visit our website at WNCT.com. Speaking of Minges, the North Carolina East Regional Championship will be held this weekend in Minges Coliseum. To break down the fun, sports director Brian Bailey is back again. Brian, welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Didn't have to move too much.
No.
But so this weekend, the East Regional Championships will be held in Minges Coliseum.
Yeah, they will be. And back in the day, for a long time, Greenville hosted both the semifinals and the finals. It was a great week of basketball. We would go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with semifinals in each classification, doubleheaders for the men, doubleheaders for the women at J.H. Rose. The men played at Minges Coliseum. And then, they lost the sponsorship, and then the tournament actually went to Fayetteville for a while, and it was just it's trying to come back. I think where the roots are in Greenville and having East Carolina. This will be the second year, I believe, of the event playing their championship games on the Saturday, splitting them with Fayetteville. Jacksonville, from our area, is the one team that will be playing in Fayetteville on Saturday, but most of the teams, Farmville Central, the Jaguar men will play at 6 o'clock on Saturday at East Carolina, and then the Farmville Central Kinston girls, they will play in the 4 o'clock game. North Edgecombe will play in the noon game, our friends from Edgecombe County. So we've got a big day of basketball coming up. But, one thing that I've been thinking about with the semifinals and some of the problems they had across the state, we had two games, that one that was suspended with 19.1 seconds to play, the other one that was just completed with 35 seconds left to play because of fights that broke out on the court and in the stands, and just an ugly, ugly scene. And it's almost as if these games are so big that we need to come back and make sure we do them at a bigger site, have the semifinals at an East Carolina, and try to work that thing out. It used to be the sponsorship money was the problem. Now maybe the North Carolina High School Athletic Association may have to kick in or something, because you would have a bigger venue, you would have more security, and it would just be, just think how many people would be at the Farmville Central Kinston game that was played Tuesday night at Kinston. They were turning people away all afternoon that couldn't get in. People were mad because they couldn't get in to see the game. And if you held it at in East Carolina, held it at a Minchie's Coliseum, you get all those people in, and it would have been a huge, huge crowd. But I guess you have to wait and see if you can get the sponsorship and get the funding, and somebody's got to take care of that. Dr. Jimmy Grimsley did it for years and years and years before he passed away, and we needed Dr. G to step back up and get in there.
Right, so let's talk about Farmville Central for a little bit. The boys are the number 3 seed coming into this. The Jaguars played Kinston, like you said, on Tuesday. Larry Williford and the Jags are 28-2 on the season. What can you tell me about the season so far?
Well, they're just really, really good. They're very talented. The only 2 losses were in the John Wall Invitational, and they were against really good basketball teams. So they really wanted to play those games to really test just how good they were. And they beat Kinston earlier in the season at Kinston. There was a little bit of a controversy as to why Kinston was seated higher than Farmville Central. It's part of the Max Preps, ratings that come out. Nobody really understood that, but Farmville Central was able to still go on the road, get that win over Kinston again, and advance to the regional finals. So, that was a big win for Farmville Central. They are really, really good. They're very well coached, have great talent, and they'll bring a bunch of folks. I think the whole town of Farmville is going to close up and get there for the doubleheader, because the girls play early and the guys play after that.
Right, you're taking the words out of my mouth. So the girls are the number 1 seed heading into the finals, and will be playing Kinston. So it's kind of a little bit of a change here.
And how about what Amaya Joyner did the other night? She had 27 points and 27 rebounds and 11 block shots in the game. And I know Kim McNeil was one of the coaches in attendance, so it was really, really just a special night for Farmville Central. With their guys playing across town in Kinston, the ladies took care of business at home against North Lenore.
All right, well, that will do it. We'll have full coverage on Saturday on our broadcast and online. Over on the national level, the coronavirus is continuing to impact people across the world, including the sports scene. Italy is set to order all major sporting events, including top-flight Series A soccer games, to be played without fans for 1 month in a bid to curb Europe's worst coronavirus outbreak. The move will also affect the Six Nations Rugby International between Italy and England, due to be played in Rome on March 14th, and the Champions League soccer match on March 17th. Italy closed all schools and universities and prepared other emergency measures on Wednesday, according to a draft version of a decree seen by Reuters that included playing all major sporting matches and events behind closed doors until April 3rd. Well, continue to practice general hygiene methods like washing your hands and coughing and sneezing into your elbow, because we here in the U.S. would like to continue to watch live sporting events and not have to watch them from our homes. Thanks so much for tuning in for this edition of Kelsey's Corner. I'm Kelci O'Donnell.